Luke, a street vendor, made a living selling cheap snacks. He struggled with all his might every day. One day he saw Dylan, a wealthy entrepreneur dressed in fine clothes, walk out of an upscale cafe, holding a cup of premium coffee in his hand. He then prayed to God, "This is unfair. I work day and night, yet I live such a miserable life." God asked, "What does fairness look like in your eyes?" Luke said firmly, "Make him as poor as me. Give each of us a crate of oranges, $50, a small stall, and 15 days. If he can still turn his life around, I will never complain for the rest of my life. It is a deal." As soon as God finished speaking, Dylan instantly lost all his wealth, exactly the same crate of oranges, money, and stall as Luke's. The playing field was even. Same city, same streets, same resources, same time limit. Now it would be a test of choices. On the first day, Luke dumped the oranges haphazardly on his stall and shouted at the top of his lungs, "Oranges, $1 each." He pushed his voice as far as it would go. He sold 10 oranges and earned $10. With cash in hand, he closed his stall early and went to the nearest diner to buy a hot hamburger and a glass of iced soda. It was his first decent meal in weeks. That is enough for today, he thought as he ate. He promised himself he would work harder on the rest tomorrow. Dylan took a different approach. He first wiped every orange until it was shiny and bright, then sorted them by size. Small ones for $1 each, large ones for $2 each. He cut a few slices to make samples and handed them to passersby politely. By noon, all 30 oranges were sold out. He earned $45, and he did not spend a single cent. He saved all of it. Early the next morning, Luke found half of his crate of oranges rotten and had to throw them away with tears in his eyes. The loss hurt. Half the inventory gone, half the hope gone with it. Dylan, on the other hand, used the $45 to buy 2 more crates of fresh oranges. He made orange cups that sold for $3 each, and even reached a cooperation with the convenience store next door to let them sell his products on consignment. He hired a student to man the stall while he went to find better quality sources of oranges. Days passed, and the contrast grew sharper. Luke watched his stall get quieter and quieter. The dust on the table said more than any sign could. The small profits disappeared into small comforts. The rotten fruit turned into regret. His plan was a plan for today, never for tomorrow. Dylan kept building. 2 crates turned into a steady flow. Samples turned into consistent demand. Polite greetings turned into repeat customers. Consignment turned into reach beyond the stall. With a student helping at the stall, he had time to secure better supply. Better supply turned into better product. Better product turned into higher value. Every choice was about creating something more useful for someone else. 15 days passed in the blink of an eye. The results were undeniable. Luke only had $8 left in his pocket, and his stall was empty and covered in dust. Dylan had built a stable supply chain, had 3 part-time helpers, signed monthly supply contracts with 3 stores, earned $1,200, and was preparing to open a fresh juice stand. Luke stared at all this in silence. The streets were the same, the oranges were the same, the money at the start was the same, the time was the same, yet the outcomes could not have been more different. God spoke. "Luke, you saw the oranges as a tool to exchange for a meal, while Dylan saw them as seeds to nurture value. Money is just a tool, but the ability to spot opportunities, solve problems, and create value for others. That is the true source of wealth." God continued, "The rich do not chase money. They chase ways to make people's lives easier, meet their needs, and turn small resources into greater value. Even if you take away their money, their way of thinking remains. That is why they stand up again and again." That message landed like a wake-up call. Same oranges, different vision. Same stall, different standards. One path traded fruit for a quick meal. The other path turned fruit into a growing system that served more people. One choice stopped at enough for today. The other choice built for tomorrow. Think about the small decisions hidden inside this story. Wiping every orange until it was shiny and bright, sorting by size to match different budgets, offering samples to remove doubt, pricing to reflect value, saving instead of spending, buying fresh inventory before anything else, partnering with a convenience store to open new lanes, hiring help to multiply time, seeking better quality sources to improve the product. None of these steps required more than the resources already in hand. They required a way of thinking that looked for opportunities and solved problems. At the end of 15 days, the lesson was not about luck. It was about choices. It was about seeing the same starting point as a chance to create more value for others. It was about understanding that money is just a tool, not the engine. The engine is the ability to spot opportunities, solve problems, and create value. So here's the question that echoes through this story. If given a crate of oranges, $50, a small stall, and 15 days, what would you build and who would you serve?